Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. As always, I appreciate that. Today I'll make a follow-up video to my Stalker commentary on the new trailer that was released, the
I was
Bolts
attacked
and
while on a
Bullets
job.
trailer.
I got hit in the head,
And
and when I
let
woke
me
up,
get
I was in
this
almost nothing but my birthday
real
suit.
clear. I am a fan of the Stalker series, and I really love those series. I played those when they came out, so I am an older Stalker fan. Now, I do get the fact that the new Stalker game, Stalker 2, is a game that is probably a first introduction to the zone for a lot of people, for a new generation of gamers. So I get it that there are certain things that need to be introduced to newer players of this game. I get that. On the other hand, I also get that for the older gamers, there need to be some fan service, and as far as I can tell, there will be. And it's obviously a very fine line for the developers to tread. Now, having said that, there was this comment on video by one Akira
I've got nowhere to go back
357,
to.
and that comment really
Over
nailed
and out.
it on the head. Definitely, there were some things that he added or she added to the whole criticism that I have. And I would like to highlight those extra points basically in this video. There are some other people also that replied that we're lucky that this game is actually coming out, and it still looks amazing. And I do agree because, of course, I've been looking forward to a new Stalker game since ever, and with all the things going on in the world, it's a miracle that this game is still in development. That's not being cancelled or delayed indefinitely. That's a good thing. It's coming out, and I have no doubt that it will come out in the first quarter of 2024. But the main thing I take away from watching the trailer is that it looks just way more scripted than any of the Stalker games ever were. Because the Stalker games, the three Stalker games, were all sort of AI driven, it seems. The whole zone was um, made up of all these NPCs doing their own thing. And it was really, you never know what was going to happen. You could see a pack of wolves chasing a bunch of stalkers. You could see dogs, I should say, not wolves, but dogs running into anomalies and just exploding into a red haze. And that stuff you see also in the trailer, but again, it's all scripted. So there are a lot of cutscenes. I didn't think there was a lot of gameplay in the video. If this is a gameplay video, then I'm a little bit concerned because all I saw was sort of an Unreal's shooting gallery, Call of Duty stuff, and a whole bunch of cutscenes. Now, let's go to the comment. Now, something I touched upon in the video as well, and it also comes back in the comment, is that the protagonist has a voice, and this person says that when a protagonist has a voice, it means that we're very important, and there's going to be a shit ton of scripted events. Well, that's just my point, really, and we're going to see a scripted game. That's not really a big deal, but it's going to be a different game from the first Stalker games. It's just going to be a fact. Also, I think that if you give a protagonist a voice, if you make a story around this person, then the zone isn't really the main attraction anymore. It's the story. Of course, if the zone is what it is, it could help the story. But the thing about the Stalker games has always been that the zone was the main attraction. You were just a simple grunt, a simple stalker, a loner, not important. Nobody cares for you. That brings me to the second point that's also made in the comment. It says that, well, we're seeing some stalker giving a bolt to the main guy, and you know, again in sort of a cutscene, and he says, well, we don't need to be shown what the bolt does, how do we use the bolt, that sort of stuff. Remember when you were playing the first Stalker games that there was a sort of a tutorial in the way that you would team up with Wolf or whatever his name was, and then go out and kill some boars, and that was it. And for the rest, you were really on your own, trying to figure out what you should be doing, how to use any of the equipment that you could purchase, or how to use the bolt. And you'd learn by experience, by just stepping into that anomaly and killing yourself. That's the zone. So I don't need to be shown this giant bubble telling me this is an anomaly, and then I should throw the bolt, and then the bubble bursts. That does not make sense to me, and it doesn't make sense to the person that commented. So he says, well, let the player learn how to do it themselves. You can learn by watching other stalkers, AI-driven stalkers, do stuff in the zone. You see them roam around, you see them shooting boars or whatever they are, or beasts or mutants, whatever, and you just learn by watching that, and not by some kind of cutscene. The same thing with the when the emission starts, you need to find shelter. Why do we need to see a cutscene of that? If all the cutscenes are all in the first hour of the game, it's no problem, really. Then it's okay. It's just a simple tutorial. But also the dog encounter, also again very scripted. That was really a cutscene, and the person that commented says, "Well, this is Call of Duty level cringe, really." It ruins immersion already, because we're supposed to encounter these mutant attacks in a nonchalant, surprising way, using wits and reflexes to fend off the mutant animal coming at you. That's what he said. But the thing is, with the dogs, it's like when you watch the trailer, the dog attacks you and you don't have any bullets in your gun, and then the character sort of kicks the dog into the anomaly, which looks cool, by the way, but it doesn't make sense. How are they going to implement this cutscene? How are they going to make it so that I have my gun pulled out, right? And then I encounter the dog, and then the cutscene kicks in when, for instance, maybe I have my shotgun out, or maybe I have my rifle out, or something, right? So it must be very scripted in order to get me in that position where I have my pistol out, and the pistol jams as the dog attacks me, right? So it's going to be very scripted. At least that part of that game where the cutscene sort of kicks in. It's going to be a long cutscene, so to explain that I have an empty pistol, carrying an empty pistol like that, and it takes away the control of the player. The cutscene kicks in. You see him trying to kill the dog. I want to try and kill the dog myself, right? Like in the first 3 games. I don't want to see a cutscene me kicking a dog. I want to kick the dog myself into the anomaly if I want to, right? I don't want to watch a cutscene seeing the main character do that. That makes 0 sense. And then there's the Bloodsucker, and it's a spoiler. And I agree with the person who left a comment. They are spoiling the game, and they did that in the previous trailer where they showed the Bloodsucker as well, who is, or the thing is, invisible. And that's the point of the Bloodsucker. It runs around frantically, and then it jumps you. And now it's sort of a cutscene. And there's really no surprise anymore for people who don't know the Bloodsucker, who run into it. They think, "Oh, what the hell is this?" It's they're spoiling it. That is completely true. What else? Well, we talked about the emission, of course, the open door sequence. We all know when the mission takes place, you need to find shelter. We don't need another cutscene for that. If if there's only one cutscene like that, but again, I think it's really part of a scripted scene, a completely scripted scene, but because I can't see it work otherwise. Um, because you obviously need to go to this particular place where the guy is who opens the door for you, right? So that feels like you're pushed in that direction. So when the emission takes place, you obviously don't get the option to find another place, some other shelter. So what looks like what we're getting here is a scripted game that is pushing the gamer, the protagonist, the gamer, into a certain direction. He has to go to this specific place where he will hide and sit out the emission. And it's the same with the dog. Probably you'll be pushed, as I said, to a certain location where the dog is there, and there is this cutscene where you kick the dog into the anomaly. Now, to conclude this ramble, I'm hoping that all these cutscenes are really, really part of the first hour of the game, where they introduce these things and it's fine. There's no problem. After that, they need to set me free into the zone. I don't think they will, but they should set me free. I want to roam around. I want to do stuff, And the thing that also caught my eye in the trailer is the inventory where you open the door of the car and there's some stuff there, and that looked like you get to do that stuff. You get to scavenge. You get to pick stuff up and use it. So again, I'm hoping that all the scripted scenes we've seen, it's just part of sort of a tutorial area or whatever. And then you're set free into the zone for you to discover things for yourself. That's always been the main attraction to the zone. The zone should be the main attraction. Not the story that much. The story is there to give you an incentive to go into the zone, but nothing more than that. This is you exploring the zone. That's my hope for this game. And saying that, I really feel it's a good thing that they have postponed the game, that they've delayed the game until the first quarter of 2024. I don't even care if they take the whole year of 2024 just to fix this thing so that it's less scripted, it's AI driven, and you know it's for me there to explore the zone. That's all I want to do. And this is again to conclude. I'm now stopping. Okay. I love Stalker. Again, I love Stalker. This is coming from a fan, and I mean well. So if anyone is watching this and thinks I'm just bashing the game, no, I'm not. I'm just hoping it will turn out very, very good and not just some watered down Call of Duty cutscene ridden uh, linear first person shooter. All right. Thanks, guys, for watching, and see you in the next one.